y'all were talking sassy about me yesterday.
We don't ever talk sassy about
I
you.
knew it wasn't really mean-spirited, but...
it was a false report that was on the Internet.
What was the report?
It was a report on the Internet about the other members of Hole suing you.
Patty's playing with me.
And so we corrected that. Jim Barber called us and told us that is not true. But it was on the Internet.
You involved in a suit? No.
This is the guy that reported it, Steve.
Yeah, I'm the guy she's going to kick the crap out of.
Lawsuit.
What happened was somebody, a listener and a parent fan, probably not anyway, because there's a lot of the anti-Courtney Love whole stuff floating around.
She's polarizing?
I'm polarizing.
Exactly. But this person said that they had heard or read on a website called blabbermouth.com that... yeah, sure, it's lovely.
Sounds reliable.
No, that there was a non-malicious suit basically saying that Patty and Eric were suing you to pretty much get to the record label so they could get the same amount of money that they would have gotten had the contract gone on and whatever.
Eric made a press release. It's sort of, we broke up, because it's costing Eric too much money. So, if we do get money, which we won't, we'll win the suit, but... Then I give Eric his share.
So someone, I guess, they took that and twisted it all around, and of course I took the source.
He probably will. My bet is that he'll join Marilyn Manson. I hope he doesn't get mad at me.
I thought you were going to say Motley Crue like Samantha did.
No, that was sort of, Sam is 22 years old, and for her that was like a big deal. And I have to say, when I saw Sam playing Girls, Girls, Girls with Motley Crue,
something was wrong.
I cried out of sheer the weird beautifulness of it all. It was, I never liked Motley Crue, but it was like what I came to L.A. to destroy and usurped.
The best part about all the...
this chick is playing with Motley Crue. Yeah. It was just... I started to cry. It was so moving. I mean, forget Halle Berry and Denzel and the whole... That made me crazy. It was great.
The best part about all the behind the musics with the...
I can't hear my earphones.
Oh, really?
Okay.
The volume. Yeah, I was saying the best part with all the behind the musics with the 80s bands is they're like, oh, life was great. We were #1 on the charts, selling millions of records, and then all of a sudden that song came along. And it's like down, 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 down. Yeah.
Well, anyway, so Courtney comes up here and has the song wasn't even fully written this morning, right?
No, it wasn't. It was 8 minutes long, and I thought I could kind of play it by myself. And then I forgot the lyrics. And who picked me up? Rich.
Well, Todd picked you up.
Yeah, and I was writing the lyrics in the car, and I forgot them all. And then no one would wake up in L.A., and it was 3 in the morning. And then Rich was here. Thank God. And then people started waking up and giving me the lyrics. I wrote it about a week and a half ago.
Right. Rich was playing. Rich has been working on the song with you.
Totally played.
He's good.
He's really good. This is good.
There's no doubt.
And I got free recording time out of it.
Yeah, James, our Mag Daddy James Ferry engineered it for Courtney. It was great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we wrote it. We sort of rewrote it, Eric's memoirs are going to be called Poor Eric, and the guy that I'm not a very good guitar player. I have style, but sometimes I don't have that masculine rigidity that one needs.
Right.
So I usually need a guy to help. Isn't that awful? I said that. Anyway, I'm just so glad he was here because I would have sucked.
Oh, she's giving me way too much credit.
You know what? As I was watching, because I've only been in one other recording session ever with Collective Soul one time, and when I was just watching you guys work together, and now it makes sense why you always read about bands getting in fights in recording sessions. It's so intense in there.
It's like
the creative process. It is. It's like the creative process is so intense.
I said, okay, we're going to go in there. It's going to be like sex. So, but you know what you want. Keep your eye contact. I know that ring's nice and shiny, but it's important to keep your eye contact and. When you're in the studio doing a record, do you feel like you're a perfectionist? Is it hard for you to take direction from a producer? Well, I learned a lot from filmmakers about that. Actually, I learned more from filmmakers about that than I learned from rock, which is yes, but also no, because I think Michael Beinhorn spent $3 million on Celebrity Skin. I find out later, and he had just spent 4.3 on the Korn record, so he beat his record.
But do you like how some of the newer records are sounding like the White Stripes direction, stripped down and just raw and
I
the
have
strokes?
TiVo, which is everyone should get. And
it's great.
I got Top of the Pops, and I saw the Hives.
We love the Hives.
And in September, I'm on that label in England, Pop Tones, and I was so happy, but I thought, it's not going to sell or anything. And right after was Puddle of Mud, which, I had done my whole sniffing around Fred thing. And at one point he said, come to SIR and see my Nirvana band.
Oh, I love this story.
You know this story?
I heard you told this story in Austin.
On the radio, I know.
This is great.
But I said, oh, yeah, because I'll really, validate that. And and he had told me a story about some kid from Austin who gave him a tape, and then he got the guy all new players. That's not a real band. But the cool thing was to see the Hives, and then right after that to see Puddle of Mud, and just to see the change of the cycle finally. I felt like I could go out to malls and rip off these red hats. It's going to be about a year. But, which is what happened, and I told the guy at K-Rock, that the Strokes thing is not Nirvana, it's not the same thing, but all cycles are different. And he was like, yeah, but you like Chop Suey still, right? I'm like, yeah, some of it's fine, but, don't expect,
The one...
Red Hat's going to be gone.
Yeah.
We don't... It's Bret Michaels.
We're ready to retire it, too.
Yeah, everybody is. I mean, MTV is.
The one song I was going to bring up, have you heard Puddle of Mud's She Hates Me?
Is it about me?
No.
Gosh.
But just his aggression in that song, it's the closest thing to someone sounding like Kurt that I've ever heard.
Really?
Oh,
that's an odd thing to say, since everybody seems to.
I mean,
you're not a huge
closest.
Well, America, didn't notice the transition from Eddie to Scott Stapp, so, I think that...
Oh, they noticed. Yes,
they did not.
Well,
it's that transcendent stadium rock thing. It's Springsteen, Scott Stapp, Eddie, we don't care, we just want to worship Jesus thing.
We just want to wave our hands out there.
Courtney, how frustrating has it been for you? I mean, you're a performer. You've been in all this legal crap with the record company, and it's prevented you from doing what you love to do.
No, actually, I've worked a lot. We have about 12 songs. Only 9 are good, but...
That are recorded?
Yeah, it's not that expensive, actually. It started with Brett Gurewitz from Epitaph giving us like $50,000, and then he heard it, and he goes, I thought you were going to make a punk record. I can't afford to... These are hits. Like, not penny-wise, but that he had the balls to do it. And then 2 majors have turned up, and on my terms, which are tough.
So do you foresee though that we'll be able to get some new music to play on the radio?
September, I have a record coming, a single. Remember singles? Coming out in England, the old-fashioned way, on Pop Tones. And by then, I think that by spring it'll be resolved. I have a mediation, in fact, with the president of what label was I on?
Universal,
yeah. He's got a thick head of hair. And I have a mediation with him next week, so...
Good luck
it's just
with that.
me and him in the room. No, I haven't had him alone in the room.
Is this the problem? Have you just been locked into this contract forever? Was it like a 10-album deal or something?
No, it's just when the mergers happen, when, we've had, 9/11 and the FCC has disappeared, and, watching, not that, and your listeners, well, I hope some of your listeners care, but watching the stock exchange, reform itself, it's like, wait till I write my op-ed at the Wall Street Journal about the music business and Hits magazine cash envelopes. No, I won't get to payola in there. So. I mean, that's a necessary evil. But no, there's no accountability, and it's a publicly held company. So I just didn't want to be involved in this merger. I never wanted to be on Interscope. I just didn't. I had met with them. I didn't like it over there. It was all about, Jimmy's taste, which is death row and that kind of violence. And I was like, well, what about when I turn 40 and make my mature record? And at one point he said to me, I wish you were still on heroin because I could market you better. And I was just like,
jeez.
This is just...
When she talks about it,
I could pretend
on Jimmy's case, which she's referring to the fact that I have a lot of power in the record.
Yeah, Jimmy Barron.
Oh, yeah. Or Jimmy Iovine.
Oh, Jimmy Iovine. I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about me.
Like a P.T. Barnum guy. I mean, he spent like $8 million on Manson, and at one point he looked at me and he goes, how come Manson doesn't sell as much as Zombie? And I said, because Manson has tits, Jimmy. That alienates guys that are homophobic.
Yeah.
But, he just has his Eminem thing in his taste, and that's his deal.